I would like to invite Mr. Sharan from Ahuja Construction. I think you can come on first.
Ahuja Group has been in the realty space for almost 30 years in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, and all our projects are divided into three different categories: Ahuja Star, Stella, and Galaxy. Prasadam is our flagship project in the affordable segment under the Galaxy projects. It's located in Ambarnath, one of the growing extended suburbs of Mumbai, and it's over 40 acres. I'll quickly run through the slides. I have around 60 slides to show you all, but I think everybody's waiting for lunch, so I'll quickly go through this. I'm a strong believer in process, and when we received this opportunity, we developed a lot of studies on the 40-acre township. We went through contour layouts, we went through the landscaping parcels which were available at site. On the onset, we were very clear that we wanted a green project, and it should not be just by recycled materials or renewable energy, but green by the term green in terms of number of trees that we plant and the amount of open space we leave. To develop a project starting with scrap, with the idea of individual privacy yet communal harmony, we developed the vision for this project. We went to a couple of architects and master planners to develop the idea, but none of them gave us an inclusive environment with nature. It gave us a straight block without adequate gardens and very straightforward blocks and units. We then received a scheme which kind of excited us, as it had far more ground open space and less building coverage. So we went ahead with this scheme. Of course, a scheme that we make for 4,000 families cannot be limited only to residential. So we made sure we have a school, cineplex, and other facilities like shopping, nursing homes, everything as a part of the complex. The scheme gave us more than 35% of the land area free for landscape. At this scale, on 40 acres, where 17.5 lakh square feet of land, we got 5 lakh square feet of land just for garden and greenery open, which is a huge amount of greenery that we are providing. We then divided the greenery into parts, one of them being the central portion between each building, which is the central courtyard area, which is green, and then there are public spaces which are outside. We checked the geometry of these blocks with wind circulation, light ventilation, with daylighting, so that we are accurate on our studies. We realized that if it's a 7-story block with 24 meters height, a courtyard of 28 meters would substantially not get darkened because of the height of the buildings. We had a couple of options of continuous blocks and separate blocks. We studied the wind flow analysis of each. Since the shape of this particular design allowed us to grow on an amoeboid site, we use that in different directions to stretch it through the site. The zoning plans primarily divided into school, clubhouse, RG space, residential, reserve greens. This integrates the central green areas with the communal green areas which are in the center. We then took help of the green building consultants, and we factored in a lot of water efficient. I would like to go through each point, but I think we don't have time. So sustainable sites, water efficiency, energy efficiency, materials and resources recyclable, and of course the innovation on the design process that we had carried out. This is the appearance and finish of the scheme. That was the first cut that we received. We received a lot of options of how the scheme would look, but the architects were very material heavy. A lot of material consumption means that you're not being as eco-friendly as you should be. So we had to strip the building down and consider shading and ventilation devices only, and we considered a more open environment so that the railings and all go through. So this was a scheme that was confirmed, so that it's as less material usage as possible. This is the part where most of the picture is trees. So because there's a D-shaped garden in between which uses up that area. The clubhouse is connected to that as well. We then went to the next level as to how to keep these green spaces secure and not end up that as a regular development they get used up as car parking spaces and things like that. So we developed a driveway on the outside, and on the inside we set up a lot of activities which would allow people to use the spaces rather than misuse them. The more effort we put into planning and accesses and circulation, the more efficient it would be, and it would help people to walk through the layout rather than drive through it. Walking through the layout would then create green spaces which then are interconnected and allow us to provide for the green spaces that we want to make. There's a 360 degree visibility of shared spaces, which then makes these central spaces quite controllable in terms of security. So if the kids are playing downstairs in the courtyard, you can see it from the apartments, which makes the entire development quite secure. This was a layout which just shows the green portions of the entire layout and what all we are providing within that. So this scheme effectively shows all the 5 lakh square feet that we are developing as green. There's a biopond in the corner which we've generated specifically to rainwater harvest. The rainwater that comes in this particular location, because it's substantial. Light and climate control, I think I've already touched on this, so I'll move ahead. This is the current status of the site, which is wherever there's a tree. If you notice, there's a tree right in the center of the road, which we are not removing. So we are going to make it as a part of the divider and use it and things like that. So there are a lot of trees that we are going to conserve and not remove at all through the site. We've set up a nursery. These are just initial images that have come through to me, but they've made a complete shed which is in the process. Building construction is going on, obviously, and this is a few glossy images of the apartments. PEC, of course, is helping us guide the site on topsoil and a lot of parameters on how to actually execute it correctly. This Google Images shows the previous condition of the site, the current condition, and hopefully we're going to see a very green Google image as we go along. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharan, especially to be in time. And this project is very close to my heart, not just because of the building structures, but because of the infrastructure planning which they are doing from the planning level from the day one. Every week they have a review meeting, and they're all master planners, green consultants sit together, including architectural team, and they're doing wonderful job.